Kirk and this is my Conquer story. And then I ran into a guy named Rex at a Starbucks in Champions Forest, and I was, writing some rhymes or something out there at Starbucks, and he came out, he worked at Starbucks, and he came out, and we just started talking about music, and he's a rapper, and we're into rap, and we're just all into the same type shit, and we just hit it off, and he invited me to come record some music, and I was like music to my ears, at this time, also, me and my son's mother, 6 months after we moved to Houston, we broke up, and we were living separate, and we were trying to co-parent together at the time, and everything was cool, and so anyway, I met Rex, and he introduced me to all his friends, and one of them is the owner of Concord, and we had put together a group called the Savage Sons, and it was the Flipnotics, Spitz, we had Melly, we had Apollo, we had Lil Allen, we had Darim, or what was Darim's name? What did he go by? KLA. He was from Kosovo. And then I was Osiris Beatnik, and we had did a lot of music together under Savage Sons. We did shows all over Houston. We did one major show was Hood Fest, and Slim Thug was one of the headliners there, and that was just like an amazing experience to be on the same stage, that Slim Thug was on, and I remember our table that we had for Hood Fest was like right next to his table. And he had a line going like out the door, like he had like the huge line out the door, and we didn't have nobody at our table but us, and but it was still, we were grinding, man. We were doing a lot of shows, and we were recording music, and we were doing it, man. We put these mixtapes out, the Shock and Awe mixtapes, and we were doing it, man. It just like it was a great time, and then I went to where the demise of my music career happened was, I actually still didn't give up, but I was pretty much at the end. I was 20, maybe 26 or 27, maybe 25, 24, 25, and I went to this battle, this MC battle. I used to go to battles all the time and I would do well, I didn't win any, like first place, but I would be like second or third, something like that. I was pretty legit, That was pretty legit. Anyhow, I went to this battle for Music World. Beyonce's dad had this battle at this club, and I went up there and I spit, like I thought was some hot shit, and then this dude who was not hip hop, like much like the hip hop you hear today, okay? We battled and the crowd just went wild for this dude. Like when I tell you they went wild, like it was embarrassing, bro. It was like a fatal blow. That battle was like probably one of the worst experiences of my life, man. And you gotta understand that my whole identity was like, I was a hip hop artist. Like I was gonna be an MC, like a big rap star. Like I really believed it. And I went to this battle and I got shit on. The crowd, like, they was not feeling me. They were feeling this dude. And I just realized like my style of hip hop music, of rapping, was not current anymore. I grew up on like Wu-Tang and Redman and shit like that, and like battle rhymes, and these people was on some other shit, It wasn't really about talent, they didn't have no real skills or lyrics to me. And I took it pretty hard, and then I left the group. I stopped doing music, and they always trying to convince me, yo man, don't quit, and it was my ego and my pride, like I just never been embarrassed like that, especially for something that I felt I was good at, and then, it was just a bad loss. I imagine it's kind of like how, a fighter must feel when they win, all the time, or they see themselves as a fighter and they want to be a champion one day, and then they go out and they get their ass handed to them. It was really hard for me to swallow. And so I quit, and I just decided what the fuck I was gonna do with my life. And I still had, I had my son, and I had to, I had to handle my responsibilities of raising my son. But, I just lost my apartment, and I was, making, taking a lot of risks, depending on my son's mother to take care of my son. And, she did. She held it down. I was like, we have our beef, and I know she doesn't understand, and from her perspective, I understand that she doesn't understand, and if she hates me or whatever, I could understand from her perspective, but I honestly, I was doing the best of what I had to try to make a dream come true, and you got to take risks, man. I really feel like you got to be able to lose it all. You can't win if you're not willing to lose it all, man. And I'm telling you, I've lost it all like 1,000,000 times. I've started over like 1,000,000 times. And so anyway, I moved back to Las Vegas for 1 year before my father passed away. And I spent some time with him, and I worked at a Chili's in Las Vegas, okay? And I had never worked out before this point, okay? I never lifted any weights. I only was into like basketball, like sports. I would play sports, but I never lifted weights ever. And I was working with this dude, and he flexed his arm or something for a picture, and I was like, damn, bro, he's swole. I didn't know, he didn't look like super swole under his clothes, his baggy clothes. He was like, yeah, I work out 24-hour. And I was like, man, I kind of feel like I want to start working out. I just want to like get a chest. I was real skinny. I weighed 160 pounds, and I was 6'1" for like my whole life. And I was really skinny, and I was like, man, I want to get like a chest and like some decent arms. You know what I'm saying? I want to be more, appealing. I wanted to be more appealing to, females. And I said, God's honest truth. I just wanted to look a little more attractive. So he's like, I'll teach you, bro. I'll teach you. So we went up there, and he, it was me and him and his homeboy, and first thing we do, flat bench, right? Flat bench barbell, right? And they putting up the 45s on there, like warming up with the 45s on each side of the barbell, and I just had the bar, and I was struggling just with the bar to get like 12, and I racked it, they racked it, spotted me and racked it, and I was just like, I came to, just like similar to when my son was born, you just come to a realization. And all my life, I thought I was pretty tough. I thought I was kind of tough and kind of strong, could fight maybe. And at that moment, I was like, I'm a weak ass motherfucker, And I couldn't do the bar, and anyway, they taught me everything they knew, and I just loved it. I had been depressed a lot. Prior to that, I had been through a lot of depression. You imagine like struggling all the time. You're going to be, you don't have any wins in your life. Nothing to be proud of really, because only thing that I had to be proud of was attempts. I really never had any success. You know what I'm saying? Just attempts. And, few sparks of success. And, so I really got into weightlifting and working out, and my mood was better, and I started looking and feeling better and being more confident. And I did, I was getting more, my personality, if I get into something, I want to do it all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? And so I would ask people, all kinds of people that I saw at the gym that looked good, or how I wanted to look. I'd be like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And this one guy who ran like a supplement store next door to the gym was like, read, study, read, don't listen to people, read. And so I started reading, and learning. And then I started going to the gym without the guy that I worked with, and I was passing them up and doing my own thing and understanding like protein and food and like putting it all together. And it was just something I did for my own self. That was more of a hobby. Music to me was like a career, but working out was like a hobby, but it was a lifestyle. I would go every day. I loved it, and really my only goal was just to go to the gym. I already had the chest, I had the arms, and I was confident in my body. Probably overconfident. I probably didn't look as good as I thought I looked, but I still looked way better than I did. and you can't be a waiter forever. You need to do something with your life. And so I got the money together and I studied to be a personal trainer. I went to the YMCA, and the manager at the time hired me right on the spot, fed me client after client. I was working 40 hours a week, like my first week there. You know, it was like it was only like maybe 3 or 4 trainers. They kind of were all doing their own thing, and you know, it was just like the perfect place for me to start training. And I was making money, and I was learning. Really, when I first started training, I didn't know a lot. I knew from the books, but I didn't know a lot about really the human body and how everything actually works, working different populations, the business side of it, the relationship side of it, and I was making a lot of mistakes. And this is something that I hope that comes up on the video, is a story of, this is really one of the foundations. If this is really my approach to personal training, is I had a woman come in, and I was, you know, I'd been there for like, I'd say a month, and I was kind of feeling myself. I was feeling confident, even though like looking back now, I didn't know anything, but at that time I was feeling confident. And she was like, you know, I want to lose a lot of weight, you know, and I want to get all this weight off. So she was like, how is the fastest way? What's the fastest way to do it? And I was like, I mean, the more you work out, you know, the more you work out, you're going to lose, you know, going to burn more calories, so you're going to lose a lot of weight. So she's like, okay, I'll do it. I'm going to do it with you. I want to buy, you know, the 20 sessions, which is $800 a month to train with me. And so she bought it, and you know, we worked out every day. I told her to buy a polar heart rate monitor. I gave her some general nutrition advice, but that was the main thing, is I'll get to that later. Basically, I gave her some basic guidelines to follow with her diet. We worked out every day, and my main focus was just burning a lot of calories. We used a heart rate monitor. Every workout, she had to burn at least 500 to 600 calories. She'd go home, we'd measure every 2 weeks, and she didn't lose any weight. She didn't lose anything. She lost maybe 1/4 of an inch on her waist. And I was like frustrated. And I was just like, couldn't figure out why she wasn't losing no weight, you know? And so, you know, we'd work out harder. We're gonna burn 600 calories every workout, you know, 4 days a week. And still, after about a month, 2 months, she didn't lose any weight, like maybe 3 pounds. And she just was crying. One day I measured her, and she just was in the office, and she started crying, frustrated. And I failed you. I failed this person, you know, that invested in me a lot of money. $800 to me is $800, you know what I mean? $800 is a lot of money, but even, you know, especially, you know, to me, that's a lot of money to spend on personal training. And I just felt so bad, and I was like determined to never have that happen again. Like, I never wanted somebody to pay that kind of money and not get what they asked me for. I never wanted that person to train with me, not get what they asked for, and tell a friend, I trained with that guy and I spent all this money, and man, he didn't come through. I didn't lose no weight. Nothing changed. It was a waste of time. That was a waste of time training with that guy. And so what I did is I went and I studied, and I found everything I could to figure out, you know, what I had to do to make sure people lost. And I figured it out. It was the nutrition. And so I'd make people, you know, then I had balanced out the calories that they burned with the calories that they were taking in. And I figured out the formula, you know, for general fitness. And I was successful. After that, I would guarantee people, you're going to lose as long as you eat this amount of food, do this much cardio, you know, and work out this many times a week. I started figuring out she didn't need to go 4 or 5 times, 6 times a week to get results. And so that was my commitment to myself and to my standard of myself, that I never wanted someone to train with me and tell people they didn't get what they paid for. Or what I promised them, because I mean, the only thing I could say is, you know, if you follow what I'm telling you, you will lose, you know. But if you don't, you won't. But I never wanted my reputation to be, oh, that guy's full of shit. You know, he doesn't know. He's just gonna take your money and nothing. You know, nothing's gonna happen. You know, so I really, really try, and I hope, you know, I really believe that anybody who's ever trained with me, they will tell you, you know, I really take it personal if they don't lose. You know, I really take it personal if they're not happy with my service. You know. And so it's a very personal thing for me, and I make sure that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I don't know, I tell them I don't know, and that's just the standard that I have for myself.